How do progressive Christians approach Christ? So I know that that might be quite a difficult thing to answer for all progressive Christians. So how do you approach Christ?
Well, so again, if we think about the diversity of views, you do have people like John Shelby Spong and the website progressivechristianity.org, and I think that they view Jesus as like one of an avatar of the divine, which, like just one messenger of the divine, one way to learn about the divine, which I think is not an orthodox view. So there are people that hold those kinds of views. Now, the people coming out of the evangelical background will typically have a much more orthodox understanding of the incarnation or of Christology. I think some of the hallmarks that you'll see is they'll tend, as I mentioned earlier, to be very critical of penal substitutionary theories of atonement, and may gravitate, if they have a theory of atonement, they may gravitate toward another view like Christus Victor, that Christ battled with the forces of evil on the cross and defeated them. Or they might have what is called a Gerardian view or some other view of atonement. So I think that's very common. I think another thing that would be very common is potentially, I'm speculating a little bit here, but potentially I'm guessing kenotic views of the incarnation. So that's getting into the weeds a little bit theologically, but a kenotic view of the incarnation is a view that said, while Christ was God the Son incarnated as Jesus Christ, the incarnation itself involved him giving up or surrendering exercise of certain attributes such as omnipotence or omniscience. Whereas what we call a Chalcedonian understanding of the incarnation says, no, that Christ maintained his omniscience and omnipotence simultaneously while being weak and of limited knowledge as Jesus the man. And so I suspect that would be one hallmark you would find among progressive Christians. And I think another thing you would just find that's very important is there'd be a strong emphasis upon the social implications of the gospel and the kingdom of God as Jesus preached it, and a real emphasis upon the idea that the preaching of Jesus should change us in the here and now, and not just as something about the afterlife. It's not just fire insurance for the afterlife, but Jesus preached the kingdom of God to change the world now, including fighting against unjust social structures. And I think that's a real big piece of the typical progressive understanding of Jesus.